I want to continue the discussion that we were just having on the regarding what happened yesterday in Louisiana, where a Republican state senator voted with every Democrat on that particular committee to kill a bill that would have protected children from gender surgeries. And Gene Mills, he just mentioned what that particular senator said in one of his speeches, something to the effect that he believes in his heart of hearts that that type of decision should be between a patient and a physician. Well, joining me now to discuss this, and particularly why our country has become a medical outlier for these procedures, is Dr. Jennifer Bauwens. She, of course, is the director of the Center for Family Studies here at the Family Research Council, and she also submitted testimony to the Louisiana legislature on this particular bill. So not only is she an expert on the topic, but she's an expert as to what happened in Louisiana. Dr. Bauwens, again, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to have you.
Great to be with you again, Jody.
Well, thank you so much. All right, we've got this state senator who evidently is wanting to hide behind the white coats of doctors, quite frankly, at this point, saying, oh, this is a decision between the patient and the doctor. What's going on here?
I mean, respectfully, that's a cop-out. I think at this point, there is no one who's charged to make law in this nation that can say that they don't understand the issue. There's so much information out there from every state house. There's all these other countries that have backed away from these procedures for minors because they've looked at the science. They've done reviews of the research out there, and everyone who's actually reviewed the literature has backed away from these procedures for minors. So not only do you have these systematic reviews that can easily dispel, the research being used to scaffold these horrible things done to minors, but, we also have the Nuremberg Code. We have the Research Act of 1974, the Belmont Report of 1979, all of these things that show us and command us as both researchers, and we have the Hippocratic Oath for the actual practice of it, that say, do no harm. And when we start to see that the harms of the procedures or the quote-unquote treatments are causing more problems than they're benefiting, that's when we are obligated to back away from the procedures. I'd like to say to the previous senator, Senator Mills, who voted with Democrats on this, would you get between the patient and their doctor if they were performing a lobotomy? It's easy to look back hindsight and see something as horrible, but when it's occurring on your hour, what are you going to do?
Great point. Well, you bring up a lot of incredibly potent information, which makes me beg the question, with all the research, with all the science to back up, with all the evidence that is there regarding this whole transgender ideology, how in the world has, in spite of the facts and the science, has virtually every medical association embraced this ideology?
Yeah, it's stunning.
It really is.
It's really amazing that we're in this place having this discussion. But when you look at a lot of academic institutions, which these medical associations are connected with, you see the sort of siloed nature of the research. And it's fascinating. I mean, you could pick any topic in the social sciences, and you'll find that people who have a vested interest in the topic are the ones doing the research. And now, research guidance would tell you, we're supposed to be transparent about our findings and so forth. But you see people who are the producers of transgender research are themselves transgender or highly invested in it. So, one, you have the ideological bent, but certainly, huge profits are made off of this. I think a lot of our listeners know that. You see surgical markets predicted to exponentially grow over the next 10 years. And then, I really do believe there are some who believe with all their heart that they are doing the right thing, that they're doing the compassionate thing. But, that's just someone who's misinformed because they haven't looked at the literature or they haven't looked at the science supporting this, because all you have to do is scratch the surface and you can see how terrible it is.
Well, it's horrible that you more often than not follow the money trail, and that's a shame in this case. Let me switch on. We've only got about a minute left. What happened in Louisiana is a great disappointment for many of us, but there's still some positive momentum. There's reason for encouragement. I think some 18 states have now passed some good legislation in this regard. Your thoughts? Are we going to see this thing continue to unravel?
Absolutely. I think we're going to see more and more people, unfortunately, who've been harmfully impacted by this. And they're going to be more Chloe Coles. Again, unfortunate, but we're going to see people come out with a great loud voice, and we're going to see parents rise up as well and push their states to protect their kids. And we are seeing that there are 18 states moving forward. So we're seeing good momentum, and so we just need to keep beating the drum.
Keep it up.